Hello, welcome to this tutorial. I will show you how to set up SIP from PLDT to the open source PBX like Issabel or Freepbx. For this tutorial, I will use Issabel. In this tutorial, I will assume that you already installed Issabel in your server. Also, I can make a separate tutorial if you like. Just comment down below on how to install open source PBX like Issabel or Freepbx. When you apply for SIP from PLDT, they will provide you these two devices during installation. This is the modem and the one access device. So the wiring of this is simple. The modem is connected to the one access device. Then the one access device is connected to your local network. After installation, they will provide you these configuration details. Number 1, your telephone number, of course. Number 2, the SIP host. Number 3, LAN IP. This is the LAN IP of the one access device. This one. So they will ask for your local area network available IP. So they can set it to this device. For me, I gave them this IP. Number 4, signaling IP. This is the IP of your Issabel or Freepbx server. Then let's log in to our Issabel server. Like I said earlier, I will assume that you already installed Issabel in your server and it is accessible. For this example, this is our IP of our Issabel server. You can set this during the installation of Issabel, or you can also set this after logging in. This is our Issabel dashboard. So first things to do is to set the IP if you haven't set the right IP. It is located here in the system menu, network, then network parameters. This is the IP of my Issabel server. I will not apply any changes. Here you can set the IP. Also the gateway. This is the IP of the one access device. It will use as your gateway in your Issabel server. That's all for the setting of the IP. Okay, let's proceed to the settings of the configuration details. We will set the IP host. You can go to the PBX menu and PBX configuration. So the first thing is to set the SIP trunk or the host. Go to trunks menu, then click add SIP trunk. So this is the basic details you need to input. So I already saved the PLDT trunk in our settings, so I will use it as example. This is PLDT 1. This is the name of my trunks. So this is the example trunk name, any name you like. Then this is your telephone number, this one. Then channels, this is during the PLDT application. In our application we applied 10 channels. Then this is the basic function you need to set to your peer details. Host equals to the SIP host, type equals to peer, qualify equals to yes. Then give it a name. I name this as PLDT outbound. Then you can click submit changes after. Then after clicking submit changes, click apply changes also in the last step. Then after applying changes, you can check if your SIP host is online. Go to the asterisk info menu, then click the SIP info. So it is in the below portion, this one. So this is the name I named recently, PLDT outbound. This is my host, and yes, this is online. If you see like this, okay. Okay, let's add extension numbers so we can test our SIP. Go to extensions, and this is our extension number currently. So when adding extension number, just click submit. So for example, I will add extension number 9. This is for our warehouse. Leave the other field by default. This is the important only, the warehouse, the display name which is warehouse, and the number, then the password. For the extension, I will set it admin 143 for this sample, then submit. So every time you click submit, you will see this apply changes. This is the last step, so click this every time. This is also shown in the other menu like the trunks. Click apply changes. So this is our new local number 9. Okay, the next step is to test our extension numbers. I will test the extension number 9 that we just created recently. You can set it up to your IP phone devices or softwares. So in this example, I will use software. So this is Zoiper. It is free for personal use also. Our username is the extension number. Then our password, remember, is admin143. When we create the extension, then just log in. Then our server. Our server is 192.168.54.93. This is our Issabel server. Oh, it's 3. So next. Okay, escape for these settings. So is IP found? This is okay. Our server is found. The next. Okay, skip for this. So okay, this is our extension number 9. It is already active. So when you go to the dashboard of the PBX settings, asterisk info, is IP info. So the local 9 is online, is 1. So the rest is the other extension that currently saved. So our sample is the local number 9. So I will use my extension number. So I also installed this app in my phone, so I will test if I can dial the local 9. Yes, I am using local number 10. Hello?
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 Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
working.
working.
So now we can dial our local hotlines in our area network, local area. Okay, for that setup, we can only dial within our local area network locals number, this one. So if we need to allow our SIP to call outside, we have to set our outbound routes. So let's go to the outbound routes menu. So this menu is, you will set the allowed numbers digit to call in our SIP. So I already saved. I will share the example. I name this PLDT out. So when adding outbound route, input the name. So this is the name. Then this is the basic routes. So this example is, it is 3 digit. So we can call any landline or hotline with 3 digit number like 171 911. So if this settings is not set, so you can only dial within your extension area. So number 2, this is the 7 standard landline numbers. So by default, if I dial 7 digit number, so it will automatically assume that I am dialing within our area. For example, I am in Davao City, so this is our area code. So every time I dial 7 digit, then it will assume that I am dialing within Davao City. So it will automatically prepend this local network. Then same in other settings, this one and this. So I input this because there is local area that have a new digit, like in Manila, there is an, aside from 02, there is an 8 added to their landline numbers. So I just input this in case. So the last digit is, this is for the mobile phone. So as you can see, this is 11 digits. So for example, 0917 and so on. So that is the 11 digit number through mobile phone. So I can dial mobile phone. For example, this is, I didn't not set this. I cannot dial a 11 digit number. That is the meaning of these settings. Then after you input these all settings, actually this is the standard settings I input. Then you can follow this if you like. Then before hitting submit, you must choose the, remember this is our trunk name, or this one, we set this here in the trunks menu. I name it PLDT1. So select that, then hit submit changes, then apply changes. So these settings will allow us to call outside our extension numbers with this following digit code. And that's all for the outbound routes. So we can test. So by default, I am only dialing within our extension numbers. So now I can dial outside. For example, uh, 295-6296. This number is within our area in Davao City. Actually, our other phone, this is it. So I will dial this. So it is ringing. So if you have not set up the outbound routes, this one, so you cannot, your call will not go through. So this is very important settings also, the outbound routes. Okay, if we have outbound routes, so we also have inbound routes. So here is also the important settings. So in inbound routes, if someone will dial our telephone numbers, so we need to set which extension will be forwarded to it. So I already created sample. I name it PLDT inbound. So this is the name. So any name. Then leave the other settings. So the very important is the destination. So if someone will dial our phone, it will be redirected to our IVR. So to make the tutorial simple, I will change this. I will change this to extension. So, and let's assume that we have an front line or front desk. So like here, I will use this 11. So when I click submit and apply changes, then if someone will dial our number, then the extension 11 will ring. Let's assume that this is our front desk officer in charge in answering all calls. That's all for the inbound routes. Very simple setup. Okay. I think that is all the basic settings needed to make your SIP trunks work in receiving and making calls. Let us recap the trunks menu, the extension menu, the inbound routes menu, and our outbound routes. You can see there's a lot of menu here, so I will not include this in this tutorial. If you like, I can make also an separate tutorial on how to set up and install PBX like Issabel and Freepbx, so we can discuss more about these advanced settings. But for now, I think this is all you need to know how to make your SIP trunks from PLDT works. Thank you for listening and pardon my English. Thank you.